What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Never FOMO, the channel where we discuss all of your different investment options, regardless of asset class. So, whether you're doing real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cryptocurrency analysis, this is the spot to be wise with your wealth. Today, I'm going to talk about the crypto market. There's been a lot of downturn in the last 24 hours. There's a lot of people freaking out, especially the newer folks that just got into crypto and they're not quite sure how to analyze what's happening right now. And so this video is hopefully going to break out some good data and help you understand the long-term benefit of a day like today. I will tell you that a day like today is where a lot of money gets made by the investors that are holding it long-term. This is not a day trade kind of day. This is a buy at an opportune time and make good money kind of day. And I'll break that all down. So let's dive right in. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Want to make sure that we get this video out to as many people as possible because I really think that this particular video is going to be of benefit to newer investors who may not quite understand how to take advantage of the volatility we're seeing today. And so please share this video with somebody, post it on your own social media, help spread the word to the newer investors so that we can make sure that they are making wise decisions with their money as well. All right, so on the day, we're looking at 15 to 25, maybe 30% drops depending on what class of crypto you're looking at. Bitcoin is now down 15. This is actually up quite a bit since the initial dip. Bitcoin hit just around 30,000 a little bit earlier today. Ethereum dipped right below 2,000 before coming back up. Cardano actually hit $1.01. And so we're seeing big drops today. We're going to break out the charts. We're going to talk a little bit about why that is. Before we do that, let me hit on a big question that's coming up. Let me hit on two questions that have been coming up. The first question is this Elon Musk's fault? Is he out there manipulating the entire market with his silly tweets? Listen, Bitcoin is a multi-hundred billion dollar asset. Ethereum is a multi-hundred billion dollar asset. The crypto space as a whole is a $1 trillion market cap asset. Elon Musk is not that cool. Yes, he's famous. Yes, he's wealthy. Yes, his tweets can have a short-term emotional impact on newer investors, which might cause them to do some silly things. No, this entire thing is absolutely not Elon Musk's fault. We're going to talk about the correction we're seeing. We're going to talk about why that correction was forecasted by a lot of good crypto investors and why it's healthy for the overall market. And more importantly, why it's a great opportunity for you to make some money over the next several months. All right, so the second question I want to address, now that we've set aside Elon Musk's moronic tweets, let's talk about a bigger issue. China recently put out an announcement that they are reiterating that they ban crypto in China. And a lot of people are speculating that China has banned crypto, therefore the crypto market is tanking. Understand something for those who are new to crypto. China has been banning crypto for years. There's nothing new to that announcement. They simply were reiterating things that they had already put in place. China banned Bitcoin in 2013. They made more movements to restrict China's use of crypto several years in a row and going back several years. The one thing that did not change is you can still mine crypto and you can still own crypto as a personal asset. You simply can't use crypto in a financial transaction inside the country of China, which has not changed one bit since originally. So let's talk about a little bit of that. This is brand new news saying that, oh my goodness, we're going to ban crypto in China. The whole world is going to collapse. But here's the reality. Right here, I highlighted it for you. In late 2013, the Chinese banks said, you're not using Bitcoin in a financial transaction. We're not using it. It also banned all forms of capital raising via issuing of new tokens, right? In the crypto world, we call that an ICO, an initial coin offering, in 2017. So here we are, we're going on 4.5 years past when these things were put in place. It's not new. The only thing that is new is recently the three larger national affiliated banks got together and they put out a joint press release that said, we are reiterating that cryptocurrency is not to be used in a financial transaction. It's not currency in China. That's not new. That's just them reiterating what they already put in place. Now, you might say, well, China is one of the most widely populated countries out there, so if they're not going to allow crypto, how does that affect the rest of the world? Well, here's the thing. China loves crypto. China is actually the first country to create their own government-backed crypto. So they're not out of the crypto market by a long shot. This is May 21st, which 1 year ago, give or take a day, China says, we're going to create an yuan. We're going to create a Chinese-backed, government-sanctioned cryptocurrency. So their announcement just recently that all crypto is banned in China, at best, was an attempt to better promote their own e-currency that they've created. Here's where it gets interesting. So this is WanPay. This is the official government-sanctioned cryptocurrency in China. They've been working on this for years, technically since roughly 2010, but just recently they've put out this, again, reiteration. As of May 19, 2021, anyone can trade China's new digital yuan, but as of May 2021, China has announced a ban on sales and exchanges of any ICO or cryptocurrency. Even an exchange is against the law, except for the official Chinese sanctioned yuan. Now, a couple points about this. So here we go. WanPay, the official sanctioned Chinese crypto management company, around since 2010, working to bring a legalized crypto to China. The problem with this, while it will probably see mainstream adoption, it'll do very well in the investor world, it has two flaws that other cryptos don't have. One, it is by no means decentralized. That's the antithesis of a cryptocurrency, whereas there's no one entity that owns or regulates cryptocurrency, hence it is decentralized. In the case of the yuan, WanPay, which is a Chinese-backed and sanctioned financial institution, manages and controls the cryptocurrency. So it is very, very centralized. With that, it's also not anonymous. If you're trading yuan, if you're holding yuan, whereas all the other cryptocurrencies, you have private keys and nobody really knows who's holding what currency in what wallet. In this case, all of the user data will be tracked by the government of China. And so it is not decentralized and it's not anonymous. And therefore, while it is the first government sanctioned cryptocurrency, it breaks from the tradition of cryptocurrency in that the decentralization and the anonymous nature of crypto is now completely gone. Now, why is that important? Well, that's going to make it hard for crypto enthusiasts to want to buy in, because that's one of the big benefits of cryptocurrency is being decentralized and anonymous and private. This is exactly the opposite. So China making that press release to reiterate that all crypto is banned in the country is more than anything simply a way to promote the only officially sanctioned and legal currency in China. I would not be overly concerned with that. Did it cause some of this drop? Maybe a little bit, but just like Elon's tweets, it's not any one impetus that has the ability to move a crypto market with a $1 trillion market cap in total. There are other factors underlining why we saw the drop today. Now, another piece of news that came out recently, there's been some speculation that India might also ban cryptocurrency. But here's the thing. A lot of that news is just FUD. It's not accurate. And I'm going to give you just a quick example. This is a great article talking about the kind of short history of India and how they've been bantering back and forth with cryptocurrency. So interesting piece. In 2018, the Reserve Bank of India banned companies from operating with digital assets. Now, the Supreme Court of India reversed that decision 2 years later and said, no, the financial institutions in India can operate with digital currency. So now there's yet again some conversation about maybe India, which is, by the way, the second most populated country in the world, they might put some bans on cryptocurrency. But if you dig into the news and you really find the data, what they're actually saying is rather than banning cryptocurrency, the Indian government may look at ways that they could potentially regulate cryptocurrencies, which would be a good thing in India because that would spur more adoption of cryptocurrency in the country. So again, a little bit of FUD going around there that India is about to ban cryptocurrency. If anything, they're about to regulate cryptocurrency, which will solidify its use in the country. Okay, so that's a little bit of the news that we're seeing recently. Let's dive into the actual chart and let's talk about what we're seeing. So this is the 1 hour on Bitcoin. And actually, let me go real quick to the daily because I want you to see the worst case scenario. You see this massive, massive drop right here. And you can see we wicked all the way down to 30,000. And so people are, oh my goodness, it's all coming to an end. We're all going to zero. We went from 40s to 30s in a day. Here's what I want to point out to you. Do you see this RSI where it's bottomed out at 22? Now I could go back and I could show you this entire chart over the course of years and bore you with the data, or I could simply explain to you that anytime the RSI breaks below about 30 is usually a great indication that we're about to see another run to the upside. If we were to look here, we just barely touched it on 25 April. We had a great run for days. If we were to scan back to the last time we were this low, that you notice we haven't been that low in a very, very long time. You'd have to go all the way back, way back in the dailies. I mean, I'm in the end of 2020 already. You don't see it that low. And even when it got into the low 40s, we typically saw a good rebound. So my point is simply that the RSI being so incredibly low is a great sign that we've hit the local bottom and we're most likely going to start seeing some movement into the upside. Now this is the daily 22, 24. We haven't been that low in literally months and months and months. Now let's kick over to the hourly because I want to break that down for you and show you the difference. This, you notice the hourly. If you were to have bought the dip, I just want to grab this for, yes, Bitcoin is down hard over the last several weeks. My portfolio in crypto is down thousands of dollars in the last couple weeks. But I'll show you in a minute why I'm not concerned by that at all. So let's just say you were a smart investor and you bought the dip that occurred this morning. Now I get you, right? We don't try to call the bottoms here. That's an effort and futility. Had you purchased somewhere near the bottom, you would already, in the span of 2 hours, be up over 25% on your investment. That is how you trade. You don't buy into the fear. You make good, sound decisions based on the analysis and the data when everyone else is freaking out. Right? You're greedy when people are fearful. You're fearful when people get greedy. This is how you make money in any investment. So you'd be up 25% from the bottom of Bitcoin today. Now I could jump over to the Ethereum chart. It actually looks incredibly similar. It's down almost percentage for percentage, the same amount as Bitcoin today, starting to see a rebound. Cardano down heavy, again, dropped almost to a flat dollar before rebounding pretty stoutly already. If you would have bought any of these near the bottom, you would be up 20, 25, 30% in just a couple hours on your money. Now you say, well, Walt, I didn't buy 2 hours ago. I bought 2 weeks ago. And from my purchase 2 weeks ago to now, I'm down thousands of dollars. Or maybe you didn't put thousands of dollars in, but you're down a lot. You feel the burn of this drop. Well, let me give you a quick reality check. Because again, I'm right there with you. I'm down thousands of dollars from a couple weeks ago to now. But this is the reality. This is as of less than 1 hour ago, today, the 6-month returns of all of the investments I'm telling you are good, sound projects. Bitcoin is still, to this minute, up 105% in just the last 6 months. Ethereum is up 400% in just the last 6 months. This is accounting for this dip. VeChain is up almost 900%. Cardano's up over 1200%. Harmony, one of my favorite projects, up over 2200% in the last 6 months. You can't look at a day for day price movement and make sound investment decisions. You have to look at the overall trends. You have to follow the technical analysis as best you know how. And if you're not great at technical analysis, it's a good idea to learn it for yourself. That way you don't have to just hear Walt Key tell you about it. You can know it for yourself. Okay, so yes, in the last week or two, a lot of stuff's taken a beating for various reasons, compounded. In the last 6 months, you're still doing great. If you didn't buy in 6 months ago and you only bought in 2 weeks ago, I realize you're feeling the sting because we're down between 20 and 50% depending on the asset class. But this is what you have to look forward to. In the next 6 months, you're going to see multi 100% runs from this bottom back to the top. So don't freak out. Buy the dip if you can. If you're not in a financial position to buy the dip, that's okay. Be patient and you're going to see your gains come back. Let's look briefly at the monthly. This is month over month in Bitcoin. You see every month we closed green and green and green and green and green. Now this month of course is still ongoing. It's not finished. So this is really where we started to see the crash just in May. There's an old saying in the investment world, sell in May and walk away, right? It is historic that May's not a great investment month. That's okay. You're going to make more gains. I don't ever suggest that you sell and buy and sell and buy and sell and buy for lots of reasons. One, you can never time the top. You can never time the bottom. You can buy smart and dollar cost average near the tops and bottoms, but you're never going to time it exactly. Don't try. Don't sell off all your investments and hope that you get back in. Holding long term and dollar cost averaging is always going to be your better investment. So you can see over the last couple months, our RSI has come down pretty darn stout. And if we look at the weekly, we're starting to scrape the bottom of, I marked this earlier on the chart as I was doing some analysis, 39.7, about 40 on the RSI. We could span way back several weeks before we found a dip that low. And here you'll notice we dipped about 32. So we were earlier today right around the 39 mark, a little bit lower, and that saw a massive run up. We can measure this real quick to give you an example. So from that low, which is similar to what we see now, 210%, 215% increase in a few months. And so that's what you have to look forward to if you're playing this smart. So I don't want you to freak out. I want you to understand that this is actually healthy. Look at the massive run up we had. And when you see an RSI break out of about the 70 to 75 range, that's a good indication that the asset, whether it's crypto, whether it's a stock, that's a good indication that the asset price is beginning to get overextended and will likely see some retracement. As we saw here, when we were in the high 90s and we had a couple weeks of correction, we didn't come really back into a normal range before we come back up again, barely dipped back into a normal range before we came a little higher again. And now we're finally starting to see a healthy correction from roughly 15 February to now. The RSI is finally getting to a point that would indicate we are now in an oversold position and we can buy back in. Now, the other thing to be mindful of is this $30,000 level that we whipped down to was a very, very strong support. Now, nobody can predict exactly where this goes. And over the next week or two, we may still see a lot of volatility. But I will tell you that there's a very good chance 30,000 was probably the low before we get back to our local top. I put out some information earlier on my social media. I'll tell you what, I'll put the link to that in the comments section of this video, where I broke out the charts and I talked about long-term historical analysis of the Bitcoin cycles and how we typically have seen extended cycles from one to the next. And we've seen diminishing returns from one to the next in terms of a percentage off the bottoms. And we've typically seen a double top before the bear market sets in, which we have not yet seen in this market. All of that data, all of the diminishing return calculations, the extended market analysis, the looking for a double top, all of it indicates that Bitcoin still has a long way to go before we hit the top. And it may sound a bit absurd because we literally touched 30,000 today. Mind you, we're already back up to 37 and change. If I tell you that Bitcoin is going to be $100,000 by the end of this market cycle, you're going to go, that's a 300% increase over where we're at now. You're crazy. That's a pretty conservative estimate. There are other crypto enthusiasts out there that will tell you that $100,000 is probably the most conservative number that they would expect to see. I like to be conservative with my estimates. I'd rather be wrong to the right side than wrong to the downside. And I personally think $90,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin is very, very likely before the end of this bull market. I've always told you about bull market. Like every video I do on crypto, I talk about the bull market cycle, this market cycle. Crypto runs in cycles just like the stock market typically runs in cycles. And in crypto, it's a little more well-defined traditionally because we're a shorter history and it's a little bit more cyclical. We're not at the top of this bull market. And this correction feels like a very, very healthy bottom before we make the last run to the bull market top, which will likely see $90,000 to $100,000 Bitcoin, probably somewhere in the realm of $10,000 Ethereum, and on and on. And so if you're just now buying in and you're down 25, 30% because you bought in here, let's say you bought in a week ago, you're currently down 35, 36%. I realize that sucks. And that is hard to absorb when you think, I just put all my hard earned money into this amazing asset and I'm down 37%. But the 37% you're down right now, in 6 months will look like child's play in terms of the gains you're going to make. And again, if you're in a position to dollar cost average into a lower price point, do it now. It's a wonderful opportunity. Yes, you probably won't catch the 30,000 mark. Most people didn't, but sub $40,000 is still a great entry point to dollar cost average down if you bought in the 50s or even the low 60s. Similar with Ethereum. If you bought Ethereum at 4,000 and you're looking at it and it's in the 20s now, it's in the 2,000 range now, it feels like the end. It's not. And if you want to buy some more and break down your cost average from say 4,000 to maybe closer to 3,000, you're probably going to be back above 3,000 before you blink. I mean, it's going to be quick. If you're buying Cardano, I was buying Cardano in the low $1. I didn't really think it'd ever get back to $1, but it did, and that's okay. It's a great time to dollar cost average down. If you bought in the twos recently, now's a great opportunity to buy it sub 2 before it comes back up. Listen, it's on sale, right? I heard this analogy earlier and I thought it was great. When you go into a department store or Walmart or wherever you shop, and you have been watching this beautiful 4K 60-inch flat screen for weeks, and you happen to go in today and it's 25% off, you don't get mad that your favorite TV that you've been wanting to buy is 25% off. What do? You buy it because it's at a discount. And that is exactly the mindset you should have in your investment world. When other people are freaking out and screaming, well, it's all going to nothing, that's the chance for you to buy at the bottoms and make massive gains towards the top. And when everyone is euphoric about how amazingly high it is, and you watch the charts because you're a smart investor, and you see that the RSI is pegged way above overbought, and you see that we've been up 7 months in a row, and you see that, hey, Walt said 90,000 was probably roughly the top, and this is at 87.5. I'm not going to buy this right now. I'll let everybody else buy it. You start taking your profits. Do this smart, folks. Do not let fear, do not let doubt get in the way of your smart investment strategies. You buy at the bottoms. If you get a chance to buy a dip, buy the dip and lower your cost average. Be smart. This is not over yet. We have months left to go before the top of this market, and there are massive gains to be made in all of the cryptocurrencies that are sound quality projects. All right, I'm going to wrap it up for now. Thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions at all, drop me a comment. If you agree or disagree with my analysis, drop me a comment and let me know why. And I'm going to link the chart analysis I did on TradingView into the comments here so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the long-term cycle analysis I did, why I believe $90,000 to $100,000 is a conservative number, and why I'm confident. I've not sold a dime. Now's the chance to buy. I'm confident that we are going to see higher numbers very soon. Actually, just put on my social media yesterday before this drop even occurred that I'm predicting Bitcoin will see all-time highs within the next 2 weeks. I'm still holding to that, even though we're seeing massive drops over today. I still believe that we're going to see new all-time highs in 2 weeks. I said that here before this happened, and I'm still saying all-time highs in the next 2 weeks. I could be wrong by that. If I'm half wrong, you're still making money. All right. Thanks so much for listening. Hope this was helpful. Calm your nerves, deep breath. Let's go make some money.